Welcome to a special edition of your WCPO High School Insider podcast. I'm your host, Mike Dyer. Pleased to be joined by Lakota West girls soccer coach Bridget Reeder and juniors Kailyn Dudukovich and Sydney Jones. Lakota West brought home the state championship trophy this weekend. In case you missed it, Lakota West won 2-1 over Anthony Wayne in the Division I state final in Columbus, and we are pleased to be joined by Coach Reeder and also Kailyn and Sydney. We're going to be talking to them momentarily. As always, this WCPO High School Insider podcast is presented by our local Chick-fil-A restaurants. Catering is Chick-fil-A's winning play of the game. Perfect for your holiday parties. Order today in the app. You could always check us out on Google Play, Stitcher, and Apple Podcasts. And I want to bring in Coach Reeder. Thanks for taking a few minutes, Coach. Does it still feel like you and the entire team is on cloud nine right now, 4 days later?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think as each day passes, it sinks in a little bit more. Kind of as you scroll back through all the pictures from the weekend, you remind yourself, hey, this is real. We've got a state championship in hand.
Not only a state championship, an undefeated season, 22-0-2, set a single season record, 22 wins, number 5 national ranking by USA Today that just was announced earlier today. Coach, what does that mean to you? I'll ask Sydney and Kailyn here in a second, but to have that national ranking at number 5, how significant is that?
Yeah, it's quite an accomplishment. You know, that coming into this program 4 years ago, honestly, that wasn't even on my radar in terms of a goal. Obviously, there was a goal of a state championship, personally within the first 5 years of me being here. A lot of people maybe said that was a stretch, but that was essentially what I wanted to work towards. We had to get some things put in place and some attitudes flipped around. But now to be where we're at with like you said, state championship and a national ranking, it's kind of surreal. You know, it's a new standard and a new expectation for us, and it's exciting though at the same time because now we get to kind of build off of that and make that the foundation of this program moving forward.
Second state championship in the girls soccer program history, 20 years later, obviously, repeating what the 1999 team did there at Lakota West, the first undefeated soccer team in the 43-year history of Lakota District Soccer, according to Lakota District historian there, Bob Ashby. Kailyn, I want to bring you into the conversation here. Same kind of type of question. What's it been like coming home this weekend to Westchester and the reception you've received, not only from your classmates and friends and faculty there, but just people around the community?
Right. The support has just been amazing. Everywhere I go, there's just always a congratulations. The school has been great about celebrating with us, and you can just feel the love, and we were just so happy that we got to bring back the state championship.
Sydney, you're nodding your head there, obviously in agreement with your teammate. How much fun did you have this entire season?
It was just so much fun. Like, it was our first year, and I think that was, like, the best year we could have asked for our first year. And just, like, walking around our school and being able to, like, do this for your school is just amazing feeling.
So what was it like walking back into class on Monday? Kailyn or Sydney, what was it like? Just what were some of your classmates saying?
Right. I think one of the first things that they did is they played We Are the Champions over the intercom. So we got a round of applause from my classmates, and just a big congratulations from all my teachers for sure. Yeah.
Sydney, was there a point in the season where you said this could be something really special?
Honestly, it was like just in preseason. Like, once we started practicing together and we got our team together, and after our first game, we knew that we had things to work on, but we could be amazing, and we just had something to prove, and I think we did that.
And Coach, what was that like just to, obviously there was an expectation in the preseason, and other teams knew that, knew your undefeated mark, obviously going into midway point of the season and kind of getting in ready for the tournament. But what was that like just to kind of get the opponent's best shot every time out on the pitch?
It makes it exciting because you have to be prepared for every opponent, no matter their ranking, no matter their record coming into your game. We told the girls this all season that you're going to get every team's best game. So from a coaching standpoint, it makes it exciting because you have to be on your toes too. You have to make sure the girls and the team's prepared for every matchup. and making sure that we don't take anything lightly. We made sure we set our little milestones along the way this season to, kind of not get overwhelmed by the big picture and the big expectation of where we're supposed to land by the end of the season. But, we've preached a day at a time, a game at a time all season long. And I feel like that's quite honestly what got us to the success we did, is just kind of taking it each milestone at a time.
A lot of times in media interviews and maybe just talking to people outside the program, you don't want to really tip your hand. A lot of coaches will say, boy, I really knew this team was going to be something special or can make a deep tournament run. When was that moment for you, Coach? Was there a certain game or certain point in the calendar where you said, well, this could be something that could end up in Columbus? Yeah.
I would, again, say kind of those pre-conference games. We knew we had a solid returning squad from last year. But definitely with some holes to plug in. And so when we had the addition of the 3 girls and then some players coming in from our JV squad last year, like Sydney said, in preseason, we knew this would be a special team. It was a matter of merging everything together, making sure it all meshed well and clicked well. And so, after we were about 2 or 3 games in, we had a strong result against Loveland. And we really saw some exciting things happening in those first few games. That's when it's like, okay, this is a reality. This isn't just a piece that we're going to talk about anymore. This is actually happening, and we're going to make this work.
What was the camaraderie like, Coach, just in terms of instructing these players and knowing the talent that you had? Still, you have to have that chemistry factor with any team.
Yeah, absolutely. They all go to school together, and half of them grew up playing with one another. So from that standpoint, it wasn't like you're bringing 3 strangers into a group. And that, that I think that was truly the biggest difference, is that they all knew each other, and it's just a matter of putting them on the same field together now, which when you've got incredibly talented players top to bottom in our program, but when you also have just good people at the end of the day who are for each other, that makes a world of difference. So, credit to our girls. They encompass all of that in terms of talent, but truly just being and having each other's back, day in and day out.
And this Lakota West team topped the Lakota records for most goals per game scored at 4.7, least goals per game allowed at 0.4, and the largest average margin of victory at 4.3. Coach, can you talk about Sydney and Kailyn and what they've meant to this team the entire season?
Absolutely. Obviously, a huge contribution. Those were some gaps that we needed to fill. In the past, we've lacked what you could call a true goal scorer, a true number 9 in Kailyn. And we've always had kind of a rotation of outside back. So to have somebody, strengthen our attack, then also our defensive line and kind of anchor that side of things down. But then have Kailyn as a dangerous threat up top that teams have to respect. Not only does it open up opportunities for some of our other players, but, it allows her to find success too. In combination or when she's going solo. So, to be quite honest, those records don't get broken this year without these 2 players. Obviously, this is a team effort, but at the end of the day, these are 2 talented and extremely qualified girls sitting right in front of you. And so they've been an absolute blessing to have on this team, contributing to this team's success.
Sydney, you were named second team All-State on Tuesday. You set a new record there in the Lakota District with 20 assists this season. Just be honest, what was it like to see Kailyn score that game winner with just 13 seconds left on Saturday night?
Oh my gosh. It was like, I had the best view of it too. And once she took her first touch, I knew she had the whole goal and I knew she was going to finish it. And it was just so amazing because I was getting myself prepared for overtime. And I just kept looking at the clock, and I'm like, oh, no, it's 20 seconds. And then she gets the ball and has a beautiful touch and just finishes it. And it was just an amazing feeling.
Kailyn, you scored 50 goals this season. On Monday, you were named first-team All-State, Ohio Ms. Soccer. What will you remember most? Obviously, the state championship this weekend. But, how much fun did you have this entire season?
I had such an amazing experience this year. And I think you said what I'll remember the most is just all of the fun we had in practices and just the family atmosphere of our team. I can really call all the girls in. I consider them like my sisters. And I think, just how much we've come from the beginning of the season, us meshing together. We were constantly getting better. we really hit our stride at the end of the season. And yeah, I'm just so proud of our team.
Coach, I'll let you have the final word here. What do you do for an encore now?
We enjoy the moment right now, for sure. We celebrate this because there is a lot to celebrate from accomplishments individually and as a team. And then, we keep soaking it in, but we know that there's next year again to focus on. And I truly feel confident that we've got the pieces in place still to have success again next year. So in whatever format that looks like, we'll cross that bridge a little bit later on. But we're excited for next year, and we're excited to just kind of celebrate the girls and this team in the moment here. What
was the most rewarding aspect of just this entire fall? We mentioned, the expectations and obviously the undefeated record, all the records broken. What was your message to the team, whether it be Saturday night or just coming back to school this week, in terms of what this team left in terms of its stamp on this season?
Yeah. Credit to our senior class. That was the first class that, has been with myself and the current staff from day one. And so a lot of credit to them in terms of buying in from day one and really putting in the work over the last 4 years. It's special for them to be able to send off, with the state championship. And I think that's what means the most to me, is that, we've put in a hard 4 years of work, and we've kind of seen the fruition of that. And, it's exciting to see what's ahead and what's the new standard, because that's always been a goal of ours, but it's here now. It's accomplished in terms of setting that new benchmark, that new foundation for where we go from here. And I think that's what means the most to me, is that, hey, some of these goals, some of these dreams and hard work is finally paying off, and you're really seeing the fruit of that.
It's awesome. Sydney Jones, Kailyn Dudukovich, head coach Bridget Reeder, really appreciate your time and perspective, and congratulations again to the Firebirds, Division I state champions.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
All right, you too.
You too.
We really enjoyed speaking there with Lakota West coach Bridget Reeder, and also junior Sydney Jones and Kailyn Dudukovich on their Division I state championship. We appreciate their time and perspective. And that wraps up another edition of the WCPO High School Insider podcast. Be sure to check out our next episode of the WCPO High School Insider. We're going to be talking some girls basketball with Ohio Girls Basketball Report director and publisher Bryce McKee, and also going to be checking in with Baden head football coach Nick Yordy about the Division III regional semifinal matchup against Alter on Friday night. Thanks for watching, and thanks for listening.